Ryan Fellman, Path to Manliness here, and I'm going to ramble here a bit, but I got something to say. There's two types of people in this world, and in my life, I have been both. Everyone's been at least one of these people, and most people will be two. And if you can be two, you've reached a higher sense of purpose, a higher being. There's people that watch the world and they recognize that there's problems with it and they want to change it. They complain about it and they tell people that this is wrong, but they don't do anything. They don't issue a call to action. They don't make their mark on the world in any meaningful way to fix these wrongs. They just complain and state the obvious that we know there's something wrong. There's been a lot of this with the recent journalists that have been laid off by the New York Times, the opinion piece, and BuzzFeed. They're not recognizing the world changing around them. They're simply upset and emotional, and I don't want to be too hard on them because even though I don't think that BuzzFeed or these opinion pieces being so politically biased help society, they're still people. And in being a writer myself, even though I don't want to use the word enemy, but I see them as the adversary of truth, of what I'm trying to spread. You can still respect an adversary, and I don't want to kick someone while they're down too hard. Now, in time, maybe they'll recognize their wrongs and do something about it. But for now, they're simply upset and emotional and lashing out, which is understandable, but it's not going to get them anywhere, and it's not going to help them get new jobs. And I'm sure at least some of these people are currently looking inward, which is the key here, and seeing what they can fix to change their situation for the better. And that's the second type of person that when something goes wrong or they see something wrong with the world, rather than lashing out at the outside world, because there's always someone or something to blame. It's easy to find. That does not guarantee that it is profitable to look for these people or to blame other people. It's a waste of time. It's negative energy. And ultimately, it is not a beneficial way to act. It's not productive. If you see something that you're not happy with in the world or with yourself or the way your life is going, you need to look inward. Look inward and see what you can change. Because if you start changing yourself, and this is going to sound incomprehensible to somebody that has not been through this, but trust me, I have been through this. It's true. If you can look in yourself and change yourself, fundamentally change your mindset, the way you think, the way you act, your daily habits, what you do, what you want, it is amazing how the world around you will change. I'm going to repeat that because that's the key here. If you can look inward and change yourself in a fundamental way, you can change the outside world around you. So how do you do this? Well, there's the big question, but that's important. It's important that we ask the right questions instead of just going about our lives aimlessly. I've been talking a lot about habits. I put out a video recently on that, and I just wrote an email that's going out tomorrow that specifically lists 10 different habits that I use to change my life. And if you're not on my email list, go to pathtomanliness.com and get on there. And email goes out tomorrow. I'll I'll give you a couple of these for now, but I go into better detail in the email, so read it there instead. A big one is meditation, and this is something that needs to be taught to men and women everywhere. Growing up, I always felt a strange association of meditation and hippies, and I don't know why that is, because I look back and I think about Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, has this excellent book called The Meditations. And really, it can be whatever it wants to be. It's not really gendered. Now, I say that, but when I look at it, I see meditation as a very masculine trait. Now, to say something is masculine does not inherently mean that it's not feminine. This current state of the world where everything has to be a dichotomy is a falsehood, and it's blinding you to the reality. Now, a woman would look at this and say meditation is a very feminine thing because that's her perspective. And I can't share her perspective, but I will concede that everyone looks at something differently, and it can be feminine and it can be masculine. So when I say meditation is a masculine thing, I am looking at it through my own personal lens, and that's the only lens that I really can accurately give. So why is meditation a masculine thing? Well, for one, it's been practiced by many of the great Stoics that men look up to. Two, it's sitting around in silence. Is there anything more masculine than solitude and silence? Like, how many men constantly complain about their girl talking too much, right? So every day, not every day, I'm actually pretty bad at this, but I'm working on it. So if I'm bragging online, recognize that it's probably true, because if I'm not doing so well on something, I'll let you know. And I have a bad habit of sitting still. I can't do it. So I try to do this every day. Well, I'll sit still for 5 minutes. I look outside. I don't know why I do this. I just do it. It helps me like just connect to the natural world. And even though I close my eyes, I like to be facing the outdoors. So I'll be looking through a window with my eyes closed. And then I'll sit still. And I'll try to clear my thoughts, empty my head, and just breathe. Just in through the nose, out through the nose, deeply, slowly. And rather than focusing on nothing, I focus on my breath. As you start to do this, the time seems to just stop. It takes a little while to get used to the idea of sitting in quiet solitude. You'll think that too much time has passed. It's a bizarre phenomenon. You basically don't have a reference point, which is why I use an app. Insight Timer has this great feature where you can set the time for whatever you want. The app is free. I do 5 minutes. I have a little gong that it goes off as an alarm at the end of the 5 minutes. I also have one in the middle because I can't sit still, and I need to know I'm at the halfway point. Now, while I'm sitting there, thoughts do come into my head, and this is part of the reason why I meditate. Some of these thoughts are really profound and really interesting and helpful, and can be the jumping off point to the day's writing, which is why I like to meditate in the morning. If it's a useless thought that I don't need to be thinking about, I accept the thought, I process it quickly, and I let it go. It's more effective than trying to ignore it. It's quicker, and in my experience, it's more beneficial, and it's a better catalyst to getting on to thinking about nothing. Now, after meditation, I will start writing. And this one I'm actually really good at, especially lately. What I'm finding here is the more you do something, the easier it gets. So meditation is something that I have not done a very good job of doing consistently, so I struggle with it. Writing, I've been doing consistently. I pump out 500 words every single day, almost without fail. And the days where I don't do that are becoming fewer and far between. I don't even know any today. I've lost count, and it's only 1:00. But I would wager that I've written about 2,000 words, not counting tweets, actual writing, on books, on an email. The email that's going out tomorrow is 800 words. It could very easily become a blog post, and it may become one later. But for now, it's a great email. It's got a lot of good actionable advice. The more I write, the more comfortable I get with it, the better I get with it, the easier the words flow. I do not have a problem with writer's block at all. If I have a day where I can't write, I start editing other stuff that needs to be edited because there's always something that needs to be fixed. If I get stuck, I move on to a different blog or a different email or a different book that I'm working on. There's always something that needs to be done. In fact, I think I've got 4 drafts that I've written on my website right now that I just needed the time to sit down and write. And I'm so overscheduled right now that I can't get it all done. And this will become a problem that you will have if you stick with your habit long enough that you get comfortable with it. The other habit's pretty simple. I'll save those for the email, but get on the list, check it out. And like I said, I'm going to do more videos. So if you haven't subscribed to Path to Manliness on YouTube, go ahead and do so. I've noticed my subscriber count starting to go up a little bit, so thank you. And I'm going to reward you guys by offering more videos and more. This is like an audio, I guess, but if you're like me, you probably have YouTube up in the background while you're working at times, so this may work for that. And let me know in the comments below what you think. I think my next blog post I'm going to do, I'll tease this for you guys, it's going to be about silver. It's not a question I get asked for whatever reason, but I see it online a lot. For some reason, people don't know how to buy silver. It's not that hard. It's actually really easy. And I've already written about half this article, and I'll show you where I do it, how I do it, when I do it, and gold. Honestly, gold, silver, same thing, just different numbers. So if you've got an extra $100 sitting around every month, go for silver. If you got an extra 1,000 sitting around every month, maybe gold's your better bet. So look for that. That's probably coming out next Monday, maybe later this week if I have time. But one post a week seems to work for me. Anyway, give this a like. Give me a subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for listening.